What's up, folks? The HHRS radio show, man. We are live. But guess what? I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again because I'm not smart. What's up, folks? The HHRS radio show, and we are live, simulcasting now. Simulcasting now on our podcast, man, on Spreaker.com and here on your video screen. What up? Hey, man, I'm your host, Moose, a.k.a. Big House. I am not freshly showered, but I don't think I'm really dirty. That's not true. I had a lot of stuff happen today in my 40. There was like used bananas and spilled milk and salsa everywhere. So yeah, you know what? When I'm done with the show, I need to strip down on these layers and get in the rain box. Hey man, I tell you what, the star of the show is up in here, man. He's got a big fat stick in his smoking room. That's the one and only LGZ Mbaku.
Man, life is so grand right now. The official smoke room is 90% complete. So I will officially be naming it the Hall of Champions. I have some decor that I'm kind of putting up, and they just finished the ceiling, so I'm very happy that it will be a year-round room officially. And then the outside patio is getting done. I will have invite the heavy hitters over for movie night. I will have a 150 200-inch screen projection outside with lights up and everything. Yes, so it's coming together, man. With my new and improved hibachi grill.
You know what? I saw that, man. Like, are you you know, did you steal that from one of these joints that closed down? Like, seven family members.
So as Moose and Ron know, that Jeezy had a Blackstone for about 2 weeks, and I had a couple of issues with it. So I took it back, and I was going to get another one. Then I saw that one, and I was like, I can use the money for that one and put a little money with it and have the whole setup right there. So that's what I did, man. So it's a table around the griddle. It's a 3-in-1, so it's a grill, griddle, and stove all in one. So you pull the griddle off, you put the grill grate down, there's a gas grill. The gas grill off, then you can put your pot on top of the burner directly. They have a what is it called? An eye? Is that what it's called? An eye on the stove?
Yeah.
But put it on there, and you can actually, so you can do 3 different cooks. I like personally won't do that. I was just using it for the griddle, and I've been up to like 3 in the morning looking at recipes, man. Because Moose has been showing me up lately, but I just been, biding my time until I knew mine was getting here. And now we got snow here in Indianapolis, which I hate, which is ridiculous, but I'm used to it. It happens every year. It'll be 70 tomorrow.
Wait till you see what I threw down on day 4 yesterday.
I'm impressed, man. Like I'm impressed with the cooks, man. Like I'll see on Instagram. I throw some shots in there. Like I'm the official hater of the heavy hitters. If you didn't know, so I'm in the hater hall of fame. So my job is to hate on people's posts now.
Hate.
Like my boy was like, look at my paint. Like, nah, you missed the spot. Hater of the year.
That's funny.
But no, man, you threw one down, man. I ain't gonna even lie, man. I'm proud. I want to welcome you with open arms, man, to the griddle community, dog.
Hey man, I tell you what. You know what? I am a newcomer, but man, I feel like I came in like Stone Cold Steve Austin. As a matter of fact, what I did is I named my grill. I named my grill Blackstone Steve Austin, man, because we Stone Cold.
That. Hey, you know what? Moose? I like the adjustments you made, because it wasn't always Blackstone Steve Austin. It was something else at first. I was like, no, Moose, it ain't working yet. You almost there yet. Now you just said it. That was perfect.
Blackstone
You said
Steve Austin.
Stone Cold, but Blackstone Steve Austin. There you go.
Blackstone
like
Steve
that.
Austin, man. Yeah, hey man, we doing it. We throwing down, dog. We doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, real quick, Jeezy got now I want Moose to be on the first episode. It's gonna be called Grills and Griddles. Yeah, YouTube. I got created a YouTube channel, Grills and Griddles, man.
Hey man, you know what? You let me know I'm there, dog. I'm there.
So
I'll bring.
So now, Ron, you just bring the potato salad.
I will make potato salad and bring it, and it will not have raisins.
It will not. We tasted your potato salad, and it was actually stunningly pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will give you props on air. I gave it to you in person. I was a little nervous.
You were.
Me and the Health Connection was like, no. You know, it might be some unwanted ingredients.
I feel like it was seasoned and there were not raisins, right? So
it had a little spice to it, and it had a little kick to it.
Hey man, I tell you what, you guys listen to HHRS Radio Show, and today we are going to talk about, obviously the big story today is the trial and the verdict in the Chauvin trial. That's gonna be our big topic. The next is some reactions to that. You know, how we feel about it, what's going on. We also got to talk about. You know, again, senseless murders, mass shootings in Indianapolis and around the country that still continue. We're also going to talk about. I tell you what. So you know, some fun stuff too. By the way, man, we're going to talk about Steph Curry. Holy cow, he is on fire in NBA. We definitely got to talk about that.
I'm going to pose this question real quick, and then we can move. Obviously, it'll be a question, don't answer.
Yes, sir.
Is Steph Curry top 5 greatest NBA player of all time? Don't answer. We'll get back to it.
Wow. Folks, did you hear that? Matter of fact, I might get on my phone and tweet that and shoot that out to our followers on all our social media. Jeezy, what's our social media real quick?
I mean, we on Instagram at Heavy Hitters Radio Show. I think we're on Facebook. I don't know who monitors Facebook.
We definitely on Facebook, Heavy Hitters Radio Show.
Yeah,
and we on Twitter at Heavy
_.
Hitters
_
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we. I think the most thing we do is Instagram. But this would be, full transparency. We do a lot on Instagram.
Anytime we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Every time.
Oh, you have a link. So, as you see, I'm not a part of the social media crew.
You need to be.
I need to be, but yeah.
There'll be just pictures of you. There'll be pictures of you smoking
cigars.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It'll be pictures of you smoking cigars. We ain't trying to do all that.
That's what I do, man. I mean, some people have cats. Ron got dogs. I got cigars, man.
True. Moose has food.
Griddles.
Griddle.
I'm going to get griddles and grills, baby.
Are you calling me fat, Ron?
Nope. I'm just saying that's what
She said, I got dogs and Jeezy has cigars and Moose has food. With your fat ass.
That's true.
It's not what I said.
With your fat ass.
That's not what I
That's
said.
true, man. I mean, you're the resident chef of the Heavy Hitters.
Look, as I'm chewing right now.
We appreciate that you cook for all of us.
But the thing, Moose the only chef that don't make the meal that the people want.
What you mean?
Because the people want spaghetti. It's been like 7 years. I only asked for it 7 years ago.
Spaghetti, man.
It's called spaghetti.
Yeah. I mean, it's only the greatest meal you ever made, and he would never make it again. It's like a one and done.
That's how you do, man.
Ron never experienced spaghetti.
That's how, you know what you do? You know what you do, man? You sprinkle it down, and then you shut it down, and then y'all be like, man, I need that.
Ron.
I've never had it.
Ron, it's like fentanyl. It's like meth. It's like crack. And your dealer won't give it to you, yeah?
I got it, though.
Right. I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest things I've ever eaten in my life.
I want some. I want to try it.
right now. Usually I'm the hater of the year, but that might be one of the greatest food choices I've ever eaten in my life.
Hey, check this out. Like I'm getting a little bite to eat while we're doing the show, and they totally left the bay leaf in the stuff. So I got like this bay leaf in the stuff. It's pretty tasty too. I mean, it does make stuff taste better.
The bay leaves is not the same as spaghetti.
It's not. No,
Not even close.
As a matter of fact, spaghetti doesn't even have bay leaves in it. That does anything.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I mean, you guys listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show. All right, let's get into this. And so we're gonna have different segments, man. Like run that news. I'm sure we're gonna get on. Tell me why you mad, son. We're definitely gonna do brews and reviews tonight because we've been gone for a minute. We've been gone for a minute. Mm-hmm. So hey, I tell you what, guys. Real quick, man, run that news. Run. Let us know what happened on the trial today and all the things.
Man, okay, so yesterday was closing arguments for the Derek Chauvin murder trial. He was being charged for the death of George Floyd. There was a lot of time that passed between last Memorial Day and when this trial began. So I want to point out yesterday, and Jesus said this before we started the show, but yesterday in closing arguments, the prosecutor said, the defense has made you believe that George Floyd died because his heart was too big, but he died because Derek Chauvin's heart was too small. And of all the closing arguments in the whole wide world, maybe the best.
It's something with if the glove don't fit. It's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there. I mean, we talking about, 1, 2. It is up there. Yeah. I won't do 1A and 1B because that's still 1 and 2. I never understood that, but anyway, continue.
Could be a tie for first.
No, when people say 1A or it's 1A and 1B, but that's still 1 and 2.
Correct.
Yeah, but continue. I'm sorry.
Still a subcategory. So today, we got news about 4 o'clock that the verdict was going to be read between 4:30 and 5 Eastern time. That was a lie. It was afterwards, so we were all kind of on the edge of our seat, starting about 4:15. So today, the jury, after a little over 10 hours of deliberation, came out and said that they found Derek Chauvin guilty on all 3 charges. And then the prosecutor asked that his bail be revoked, that his bond be revoked and that he be taken back into custody. So he was, and we have 8 weeks until sentencing. So with the 3 charges, he could face, if they're all added together, I believe it's like 65 years. So we'll see what he gets from that. But
he might get 10 to 20 years.
I hope that they at least sentence him to 20 so that he serves a good portion of that. What's the general rule of thumb, like half?
80%.
It really depends on what city you're in and all that.
But you know what? Somebody posed a question earlier today that, will they put him in like a regular jail, like a regular prison, or will he be, put into like an isolated to a separate area?
So I've also wondered that, and this is going to sound horrible, and I'm going to go ahead and say it for the whole wide world to hear. Is he even going to make it to his sentencing trial?
Yeah, he will. He will be protected. He will be protected in a whole different wing.
I guess that's
true. He's not going to he will go to jail, but he'll be protected at least for the first couple of years. And then once it kind of blows, he'll probably be, put in the general population. He's not going to Rikers. He's not going in there.
Well, he's in Minnesota, so of course he's not going to Rikers.
Yeah, but I'm also saying he's not going to.
It makes me sad that I don't remember his name. What was the young black man that got arrested for the backpack and went to Rikers and was in solitary confinement for like 3 years?
You know what? I saw him on. Oh my goodness! I saw him on the show, and I cannot remember what his name is now. I cannot remember.
You know what's crazy? I think I'll be curious to see if stuff like that, like you said, run the backpack in 3 years and solitary and Rikers. I wonder will those cases fly in today's world.
Khalif Browder.
Browder, yeah. I was aware of his show. I was aware of his story on. What is that, man? On Netflix, maybe. I think I saw. I saw it on Netflix. Hey guys, real quick. So check this out. I reached out to a guy, man, that is a God-fearing man that believes in what he believes in, and you know what else? I trust him, right? I trust him to be who he is, and I've invited him several times. He wasn't able to make it. I just sent it on a whim tonight, and boom, here he is, man. Give it up for JC, man. What's happening, JC?
How we doing? Thanks for having me, Chris.
Hey, we're doing well. My name is Moose on this show.
Excuse me. Let me start over. Good evening, Moose.
It's all good. It's all good. You know what? A lot of people do that, so it's all good.
And that's what 17 years. So of calling you that. So
true story. True story.
He walked in and dropped the government. So now the fans know where he at.
Fans know where I'm at, man. The fans are watching, man. Hey guys. So the reason I've been inviting JC is he again, I tell you, he's my friend. He's been but he's staunch in his beliefs and his background and all this stuff. And some of it is in line with what we talk about, and some of it is not. Right. The thing I like about him is that he just does what he does, and I appreciate it. And so I want him to hear some of the stuff we're saying and give his thoughts on it. You guys cool with that? JC, you cool with that?
Yeah, of course.
Outstanding. I knew that. Outstanding. All right. So JC, we are talking about. We just got in, and I apologize for not getting to you a little bit earlier so you can hear what we talked about going into it. But we're talking about the Chauvin trial. We know that he was, he was brought up on all the charges, and they all passed. And really, that's it at this point. That's all we talked about as far as that's concerned. Ron, did you have anything else before Jeezy and maybe JC have comments on it?
So that was really just kind of the synopsis of today. Of course, this trial's been going on, but I will speak for D'Lo because we were in the group chat earlier. He felt like this was a pretty quick turnaround. I know he's not with us on the show tonight, so I did want to throw that out there. But other than that, it's open for comments.
All right. Hey, so go ahead.
I want to say this. The first, I think I put in the group chat. I said I never thought he would get off with being not guilty. Like, I knew that was kind of off the table. I thought it would be manslaughter, if anything. I thought that would probably be the now, mind you, I didn't watch not 1 second of the trial. But I just felt like that would probably be, the way they would go with it. But so when it came down, everything, I was like, wow, they really did drop the hammer on him.
I will say the 3 charges were second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. So he could face up to 40 years in prison for the second-degree murder charge, up to 25 for the third degree, and up to 10 years for second-degree manslaughter. So if all of those were added together, it would be 70 years. But like I said, we'll have 8 weeks until sentencing.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, I'll say it'd probably be anywhere from, let's say, 10 to 20.
Yeah, so you what you feel like is they're going to chop down all those sentences and there's going to be somewhere between 10 and 20 years? Because it's his first offense. It is his first offense.
Right. So they're gonna give him. It's hard. I would lean more towards the 20 just because of high profile case. And what happens is even because he was found guilty of these charges, I don't think the judge want to set precedent. Because if you give him 10 years, I mean, the next person that comes in that gets, some of the crime, manslaughter, second-degree murder, are they going to get 10 years? So now you're setting precedent. So that's something that goes into like the legal books. People can call back. Well, you gave this person 10 years for this. Why am I getting? So I'll lean towards more of the higher end, maybe 20. I don't foresee him getting 65 years. I don't see that at all.
Hey, everybody! I tell you what, real quick. Monsky's in the house, and he had mouth surgery today, so he's typing. So I'm gonna help him out a little bit, and then I'm sure when he wants to chime in, he will. But what he said was chop down the first offense to murder. So it sounds like what he is agreeing with, Jeezy, is that he's feeling like it's not going to be that whatever Ron said, like 75 years and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a much lesser sense because it's his first. JC, hey man, welcome to the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. It's your first time here. I know we've talked about it before, that kind of thing. What are your thoughts on that Chauvin murder trial?
Well, I think it's unprecedented that a police officer that was not only murdered somebody, but it was filmed. I mean, we've seen shootings and beatings and all that, and it's like, well, people will say things like, "Oh, we didn't see all the police body cam," or people started recording late because they showed up late, or they realized what was happening. But I mean, but with that, we know where George Floyd was minutes before, and what led to Derek Chauvin doing that, and there was no chance of acquittal. I mean, I thought in the back of my mind, first of all, yes, he's guilty. He was sentenced. He deserves a punishment. But I was thinking in the back of my mind, if they blow this, I mean, not just Minneapolis, but how many cities are going to be on fire tonight? I mean, I'm just saying, like, how many people are going to, which I don't know what that's like, but I know what it's like to get angry. I don't know what it's like for that reason, but I probably wouldn't blame anybody if they reacted that way had this verdict been different.
You know what, JC, I'm glad you brought that up because a prominent person in my life that is a very smart guy asked me, so if it goes the other way, are you going to be tearing up stuff tonight? And I wasn't even offended. I said, man, I'm a general. At my age, I'm a general. I'm not a foot soldier. So I'm not gonna be burning stuff. But if I need to purchase some rags, I might not be opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was one of those things where I think it was I feel like it was real on everybody's mind. What the heck is going to happen tonight if this goes the other way? Which also made me feel like it wasn't going to go any other way but the way that it went. The way that it went. I feel like they were going to throw the entire book at him, and then what's going to happen is the judge is going to, because he chose the judge. The judge is going to decide how much time he spends. And so, like Jesus said, 20 years, probably about right. So Monsky, I know you're typing in here. I'm going to read it. Sad that he had to even think about it going the other way. That itself speaks volumes for change. And here's what happens, guys. We know that it's weird right now because the folks that were in charge all this time are now feeling a little bit of pressure. And holy cow, are they reacting? Ron, do you have any thoughts about the fact that the folks are reacting the way they're reacting? And then, Jeezy, you go right ahead after that.
So I think that it is very powerful what happened today. I think that it's a really small step to some changes, but I'm hoping that it can kind of propel some things forward. I would also just like to throw out there that Minneapolis actually decided they were going to do virtual school Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week preemptively. They made that announcement at the end of last week, which I think also kind of speaks volumes. Like, the whole city was nervous about this. They didn't know what was going to happen. And so to keep our kids safe, we're going to keep them home from school. I also want to say, I put this in the chat, but Darnella Frazier is the 17-year-old lady who recorded the entire incident. So had it not been for her bravery of recording this, it could have been completely different. And the world may not have even known that it happened, which is disgusting and terrifying to think about as well. So I think there's a lot of reform that needs to happen. And we see this every single day. But I do think this is one small step in a direction where we need to go.
All right, amen, for sure.
What I'll add to that now, it sets the stage for the lady in Minnesota that killed a guy last week. So now, what's her situation going to look like? And from what I heard from people in law enforcement, a lot of police officers come out and was like, yeah, they're not even siding with her at all. Like, from my understanding, a lot of even the police unions like, yeah, she was completely out of line. Like, you know your service weapon from your taser. Like, you know, the service weapon is always on your dominant side. Your taser is always on your weak side, so it makes you reach over to grab your taser versus reaching down and grabbing. It's all these different things. So it kind of set the stage for that. Like, you know, where are we headed? You know, now obviously, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because it's Minnesota. So what happens when this happens in Arkansas or Mississippi or, you know, someplace like that? Like, you know, what happens? You know, it's back to business as usual. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we can, you know, say that justice was served today, but, you know, until there's major changes, you know, it's just a one-off, in my opinion.
All right, guys. So this morning, excuse me, I saw former President George Bush on the news, and what he has done is he has met and painted portraits of immigrants. Like he's totally into it. He's met all these immigrants. Like, and it's funny because some of them are high powerful. Like the guy that started Chobani yogurt is an immigrant that just became a citizen not too long ago, and the guy that started a Brazilian steakhouse was an immigrant. You know, so of course George Bush knows them, but he painted like, I don't know, 50 immigrants, their portraits, and he wrote a book about immigration and how, you know, how it's important to the United States. And frankly, I'm not sure how the folks in these United States now think that they're all not immigrants. They're not descendants of immigrants. Like none of us, unless you are 100% Native American, right? Or what somebody say Indian, you are an immigrant at some point. So anyway.
I kind of disagree with that. Like I think we said that's a narrative, but I think the reason why a lot of the majority don't look at themselves as immigrants because yes, they came to a new land, but when the country was founded, they was here when the country was founded. So in essence, they are the original people of the country, the United States of America, not the land America, but the country. When they started the United States of America, whoever was here was here. It wasn't foreign. They're not foreign. They didn't come from somewhere else. When the country started, they was here.
So I got a question for you, Jeezy, which it's so hard because I love you so much, but sometimes the stuff you think about just pisses me off so bad. So
that's true, though.
No, I'm gonna ask you this. So what's the reason that people say I'm Italian American or I'm Polish?
Yeah,
I got Polish descent. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got Polish descent, or I'm Lithuanian, or I'm all this kind of stuff. If the fact that they were here and they were Americans because they were here when they signed the paper, by the way, which doesn't mean a dang gone thing, but they signed the paper. What you're saying is if you were here when you signed the paper, then you're American. So that's about, I don't know, 175 cats that are considered Americans because they were here when they signed the paper.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when the Indians was here, the natives was here, it wasn't called the United States of America. It wasn't that. So what I'm saying, when the founding fathers, when they came from Britain and all over the place, and they decided that it's a new land, a new world, and we're going to start these United States of America. They're going to come up with this name, whatever. When they signed that paper, if you was here, you were the, so it was them. So this is our country. This is America. This is ours. This is ours now. This is our land. So they're not necessarily was immigrants. I mean, to me, when people say immigrants, they think about people that come from other countries, like in modern era, in modern times, not when the country was founded.
Okay, so I got a question for you. So then when slaves came over, are they considered Americans?
No, because we wasn't here when it was founded. We wasn't here.
Are you a Klan member or something? I mean, I don't understand this. Like I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand how you say. Hold on, just 1 second. I'm trying to understand how you say that these guys come from another place. They say, "Hey, by the way, this is our land." That's like me and Monsky and JC come to your house, and we get together, and we overpower your broke leg ass pineapples, and we say, "You know what? This is our house now." And we're going to sign this document right here. And now, what used to be the friendly confines is now a conglomeration of JC, Monsky, and Moose's crib. Because we've signed the paper and we've overthrown who was here already. And now anybody that comes after that is part of us. They got nothing to do with the friendly confines. Is that what you're saying? You're going to say no.
You're taking what I'm saying and you're making it sound like something completely different from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the way they see it. They see it as we're not immigrants. We started this. We started this country. So we're not immigrants for countries that we started. That's what I'm saying. You're not saying that we came from Ireland. The Irish that came over in the the 60s, whatever they came, Ireland or the Irish or Italians. They don't consider themselves the same as them because we started this shit. Our people started this, and we are Americans by birthright. We are Americans. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else came over here by hook or crook. They got here, but we're the original Americans in this country. So, as far as the United States, not America, the continent, the United States of America, we're the first citizens. That's the way they see it. That's what I'm saying.
So I got a question for you. In March, when you hear people say that, in March, what's the reason we celebrating St. Patrick's Day? Then it's not an American holiday.
I mean, okay. Your ears hearing something completely different, so it's okay.
No, they not, man. I got nothing but love for you. I'm just trying to understand.
You hear something completely different. Okay, go ahead, move on. We can move on.
JC, what do you think about the discourse we just had, man?
So I think I understand what Jeezy's saying. I think he's saying that when people come here from other countries, they view, because they're coming to America to live for the first time, they look at America as different because it depends on who you talk to, who's an American, who was here first. Are we talking about the natives? Are we talking about when slaves were brought over? I think that's where you were going, Jeezy.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like when pilgrims think about themselves, they don't see themselves as immigrants because they started the country. But I'm sure JC don't look at himself as an immigrant. Because so if he was Italian and his family came from Italy, he would look at himself as an immigrant. My family immigrated here in the 40s or the 50s from America. Well, the average pilgrim, average white person don't see themselves as immigrants. They figure like, no, we was here when this shit started. We was here. We started this country. Now, it was not the United States of America when the Native Americans had the land. When they had the land, it was not considered the United States of America. But since the U.S. started, they are the original people of the United States of America. They're the first citizens of this country. So when you're the first citizens of a country, you're not an immigrant.
Please.
Everybody else is.
I have two.
It's semantics, man. You getting called lost in the sauce, man. Like, it's really semantics, though.
I like playing the semantics game. I have two questions here.
Okay.
Number one, I think this is a bigger question here. Can you tell me when the United States of America was founded? What year?
Well, people say 1776.
Okay. Can you tell me when slaves started being brought to
I was getting at
No.
because myself, I don't consider myself an immigrant of this country. I do not.
Nope. I would like to mirror what you said. You said that the people who were here when the United States became the United States were not immigrant. Can you tell me when slaves started being brought to the Americas on slave ships?
Right. And I clearly just said that for me, I do not consider myself an immigrant of anywhere. I am an American. Now, they labeled us African Americans in 1970 or 80, whenever it was, but, for whatever reason. But I myself do not consider myself. Ron Moose, do you consider yourself an immigrant? If so, immigrant of what country? Don't say Africa, that's the continent. What country are you an immigrant from?
You said me? You asking me? No. At this point, I'm not. I don't think any of us are immigrants. We are descendants of immigrants for sure. Me, I was born on 10th Street in Harville, USA. But it's one of those things where I feel like that's where the change. Have you guys heard about the new caucus that is forming called America First? And what they're saying is that they are Americans and anybody different from them is not. By the way, that includes Jeezy, Monsky, and myself. We are not considered America First in that caucus. And man, don't be Latino or anything like that because they are.
Those people are idiots because first of all, when you say America First, now when you say America, like Canadians are Americans, so are Venezuelans are Americans. It's all a part of the American continent. So when you say America First, like what are you saying? Mexicans are Americans because it's on the continent. You can say I'm a United States citizen first, whatever that is, but American First is that South America, they're Americans, so are North Americans. We're all on the American continent. So that's just people being stupid. So I don't pay attention to them people. That's just stupidity. It's all America.
The unfortunate piece is, as I said, they were a caucus, which means they are elected officials that make the rules, and they are creating that to create the rules in the United States, in these United States of America. JC, you ever thought about that?
You froze in the last couple words.
So that America First is a caucus. And the caucus comprises members of our federal government that are making decisions for us. Do you ever thought about the fact that new caucus, America First, is all about getting immigrants out, not calling anyone immigrants? Like they feel like that the folks. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look up the exact definition for you real quick. But you ever thought about it right now?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Okay.
But it doesn't really sound positive. I mean, there's it's like it's one more label, and I think we need
less labels.
We need less labels, but yes, decide that nobody's an immigrant. You can't. I don't understand why they would form this caucus and preach that, but I don't know. You got me. I have no idea why somebody would start that group.
All right, so
unless it's to unless it's to.
Go ahead, JC.
Oh, she's the one forming it.
So what it says is the American First Caucus exists to promote congressional policies that are to the long-term benefit of the American nation. The North Star of any policy proposal will be that which serves the American people, and any consequential analysis of policy platforms must be based on this first principle. As this implies a degree of ideological flexibility, a certain intellectual boldness is needed amongst members of the AFC to follow in President Trump's footsteps and potentially step on some toes and sacrifice sacred cows for the good of the American nation. Policy as far-ranging as foreign intervention, economic development, immigration, trade, tech regulation, and social policy need to be re-examined from the ground up and to ensure that what remains keeps the interests of Americans at heart. It is a firm belief of this caucus that American policymaking needs to get back to the first principles, restore a long-term time horizon amongst our nation leaders, and instill a greatly internalized sense of service to the American people on part of our elected leaders. As long as these principles are put and kept in practice, the interests of the American people will be safeguarded.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene is who started this, but in true Republican fashion, she's saying that she did not say it, she did not start it, and the media is spreading fake news about this. So Monsky wants to know if Trump has proclaimed any attachments to this group. I don't believe so yet.
I haven't seen anything.
It's a new development. It's very, very fresh. So I think it maybe is only a matter of time. But another way that I saw it described was Anglo-Saxon political traditions.
Yeah, and guess what? Real quick, man, we get out of this. There's so many Republicans like running away from this situation. They're like, man, I don't want no part of this thing. Forget what they're talking about. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's this one cat, man, down the lieutenant governor in Georgia, who is a Republican guy. If he ran against the right person, I would vote for him, dog. Man, that dude is smart. He's cool. He knows what he's talking about. I can't remember his name right now. Currently he's a lieutenant governor in Georgia. You know what? If we get the wrong guy next time and he runs, I might be in. Who knows, man?
I got a question for the panel. Like, why is it that, like, in this country, why are we still so far behind, as JC said, with all the labeling? If you think about it, what do we call Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak? Clearly, he's not Greek. He's from Greece. He's from Greece. He
is Greek. Yeah.
Wait, no, his family's from Nigeria. Is where his family's from. But he's
not him though.
Greek. Huh?
Not him. He wasn't born in Nigeria. He's born in Greece, right?
Man, he is just Greek.
Yeah.
He's not African Greek. He's not Nigerian Greek. No, he's just Greek.
Right. We are the only country, just like you and JC said, we the only country that does that.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me, man. It still don't make no sense.
That's how they do it because that's how they make money and keep us separated.
I know. But it still don't make no sense. When we go overseas, what are you? You're American. No matter what.
No matter what, man. No matter what. Hey, you know what? Hey, by the way, that's the reason I invited JC because I appreciate his beliefs are strong and all that. But it's like, you know, it's like he still has friends all over the place, and you know, through sports and his goofy love of Purdue and all that kind of stuff, man. It's like one of those things where he just is who he is, and I respect that. You know, I respect the fact that he is who he is, and he ain't tripping on none of that. That's why I invited him. By the way, I don't know if you knew that or not, JC, but that's why I invite you every week. All right, so hey, that guy I'm gonna invite is Jeff Duncan. I will vote for Jeff Duncan if the Democratic guy's not saying what I say and Jeff Duncan's on the ticket, he's got my vote, which is crazy to say, but he does. All right, and then
reality is that's the way it should be.
Right.
That's the way you should vote. Don't vote just because party. Party out both who believes and who's in line with the way you think.
Yeah. No, Jeff Duncan, man, you the man. Jeff Duncan, you the man. All right.
You know, I mean, because if you look at somebody made this point that they believe that Democrats are on the side of the minorities, but yet they're the ones fighting for qualified immunity.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know how it
goes. Wait a minute, like, what? Huh?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota is a Democratic city. Imagine that.
You know what I think is funny? Whenever you try to make a point. Hey, why is it when we're making a point, we open our eyes real big like this?
Democratic state city, yes. Yeah, it's Democratic. Yes, it's a Democratic city. Minneapolis is a Democratic city.
Minneapolis.
Did you say Minneapolis, man? You sound like
I know that. It's Nicaragua and Minneapolis, man. They give me trouble.
You sound like what's his name, man?
The second I want to say, what is it? Minneapolis.
Right?
It's Minneapolis.
Yeah, that too.
Look, you gonna mess me up now.
I'm struggling, man.
I can't say tell them tastes real cinnamony. I can't say it.
Cinnamony.
I can't say it. Cinnamony.
That's right.
Hey folks, man, I tell you what, man, we want to invite DJ College in the house, man. What's going on, DJ College? You welcome?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Look at that hair you got, boy. You got some new fancy hair.
I have less hair, if that's.
So, what are we calling that? Is that a pixie cut? Like what?
Well, I'm glad you asked because this week I was told by my I'll call them friends that this is the woman haircut.
The what?
So, the middle-aged woman haircut.
Okay.
That's the Karen cut.
The what?
That's the Karen cut. It's a bob.
Oh no, see, I can't take that one.
The Karen cut? No.
No, I'm good with it. I was laughing. I've been dating someone a little decade younger, and he was like, "Oh, that's a middle-aged woman haircut." I'm like, "I guess it is." That's the point where she chooses if she still wants makeup, you, or to mess with this.
Dang! Did you hit him like that?
Oh yeah. Since when have you known me to mince my words?
You know what? I ain't tripping. So Mosky says.
If you can't keep up, you can't come to my house.
Mosky says you glammed it up, and it's called the new bob. You know what? Now, I back in my day, matter of fact, if you poofed it up on any side, it would be the black guy's girlfriend haircut. We used to call it that.
Like this?
I for sure had that.
The black guy's girlfriend haircut.
So if y'all dig deep, if you all dig deep in my Facebook or my Instagram, you will find my Kentucky Hairwell days of 6th grade, where I professed my love for Scottie Pippen and the Pistons. So this is nothing, but thank you. I cut it off.
You just say you express your love for Scottie Pippen and the Pistons?
Yes, in 6th grade, I thought Scottie Pippen was like the
Pistons
of my marital dreams.
Where are the Pistons coming from?
I don't know. I guess I was just trying to illustrate that I didn't have judgment. But that was Scottie Pippen and the Pistons. And my hair was like this tall.
You know what's very funny about that? I want to say that the Pistons had only like one Pilgrim on the team, right? But the Bulls had maybe 2 or 3, you know. So she like Scottie Pippen and all the brothers is what happened.
I don't know. I can't.
Real quick. I want to come on the obvious real quick.
Made decisions.
Hold on, Fancy. Hold on.
Real quick, I want to point the obvious real quick. I finally figured it out. Jay-Z look like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. No, you know what I think? You know what I think?
He look like Stone Cold. Got the goat. Yeah.
No, you know what I think? I think it's JC. Who do I say all the time? The real good looking
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham, man.
That dude's like 5'7" now.
I mean, I know you're like 6'3". I get that. JC's like 6'3", but he looks like Jason Statham to me.
That's funny. Can we go back to me for a second? I want to go back to my hair.
No, not really.
I don't want to go back to you. About me.
We're talking about Jason Statham, and you want to talk about you.
Yep. Yes.
All right.
Yes. Okay, so because I don't go back and find a picture of my haircut when I had the IJ Black Guys haircut.
Oh, wow.
Listen, guys, for everyone who's watching on YouTube and not listening on Spreaker, you'll have to go watch it to see the picture. Can you believe it? I loved it, though.
It's the cut. I think that's why they called it the middle-aged cut.
I do still, okay. Monsky, I would like to clear it up. Yes, still into Black Guys. However, my hair is long and dark now. Yeah.
Bro, what year was that? Like, you was in high school with that?
College.
So it's like the early 90s or something?
Not funny.
Wow. Hey, guys, this is the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, and we have gone the gambit. We have talked about the fact that Derek Chauvin is going to be in jail for several years, and we have talked about the fact that, going back to Africa, that the United States isn't necessarily ours, but Jeezy thinks that if you was here when we signed the papers, then you consider the United States citizen. So, and then after that, I guess you clear.
That's not what I said, but go ahead and continue, dog.
All right, and now you know what? Hey, Heavy Hitters, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, man. Let's have some fun. Hey, so.
My man writing headlines over here.
No, wait, I think I missed this. Did Jeezy reference people present during the Louisiana Purchase? Is that what you're calling it, listeners?
It was before that. It was before the Louisiana Purchase.
Is that all he wanted?
All right, hold on. Listen up, guys. All right, so you guys listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. I'll tell you what, man. We got the star of the show, El Jeezy and Baku, man. We got the lady of the house, man, the one and only Run. EMC. We got man one of the originals in the house, man. The distinguished gentleman Monsky Love, man, fresh out of mouth surgery, and like I said, mouth surgery because sometimes I suffer from black mouth.
But you get some veneers? You get some veneers put in or something?
He got the big money, man. He like
there's no respect.
He gonna be smiling the whole time, like, what you saying? Man? What you saying to me? And then we got a newcomer, man, a guy we've been trying to invite for a while, man, the one and only JC. And then I tell you what, man, the mouth for the South, the North, East, and West, man, Fancy, otherwise known as DJ College, man. She's in the house.
She's never DJ'd in college.
No, you know what? That's a whole different story. That's a whole different story, man. The reason she got that because hey, her pilgrim ears heard something totally different and it just stuck like all these years is what happened. I know the story. All right, so hey guys, all right, listen.
It changed my whole life.
All right, listen. So one of the things that we always talk about, man, a great piece of our show, AGZ is Brews and Reviews. Please tell us what Brews and Reviews is all about.
Man, Brews and Reviews is a heavy hitters. Things we rate. It's the way we rate things. So basically, the more brews it takes you to enjoy something, meaning it was terrible, and the least amount of alcohol consumption, meaning it was great.
Outstanding, Jeezy. And you know what? I'm excited. I'm excited maybe to start. Can I start? All right.
Yes.
All right. And let me see. I can't say it, but my brewing review is about stuff. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna give. Wait. I'm gonna give Monsky's first. So Monsky wants to talk about Steph Curry. Holy cow! Like Steph Curry, guys, he's plays for the I was gonna say the Wizards, the Golden State Warriors. He plays for the Golden State Warriors, and holy cow, he is on a tear. Right now he's the best basketball player in the league. And what's crazy is for sure he's cementing his legacy as an all-star and one of the and I am sorry to say, you're going to hear me say this. Moose, a.k.a. Big House, a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, born on 10th Street, Hallville, USA. One of the greatest Uncle Reggie fans ever. But I'm here to say it today on video and across the world on our podcast. Steph Curry might be the greatest shooter ever in professional basketball.
I don't know about might be. He definitely is the greatest shooter of all time. I would go this far and say that Steph Curry is probably on my list number 2 of people I would pay money to watch basketball all time.
I already know that. You and I have spent money going to watch him.
But he's number 2. Like Jordan's number 1. Like I would pay to see Jordan. I would pay to see Steph. I would pay to see Shaq, Kobe, and probably Vince Carter. So you just you don't know what's gonna happen.
No, you know what? I mean, but come on, man, you tripping because you for sure pay to see LeBron. You're paid to see what's the young fella from the Pelicans?
What I'm saying is,
what's his name?
What I'm saying is, I would pay. Like, don't get me wrong, they would round up my top 10, but my top 5 guys, I would pay and have no problems going to see them guys play basketball.
Just like I told you pay to see
yes, they're my top 10.
Williamson. What's I can't think of his name. Zion. You're gonna see Zion. You're gonna,
I don't know if I'll pay when I see Zion.
That's not true. You're gonna see LeBron for sure. You're gonna see.
I'm not a LeBron fan, so I really probably. Is he playing Golden State?
You silly. Anyway, all right. Hey, so Monsky, we appreciate you. Obviously, 0 bruise for Steph Curry. You are absolutely right. All right, guys. So look, I want to do mine real quick, man, because I've actually watched some stuff. Now I talked this a long time ago, man. What's the name of it? Good Girls is now when it was 0 bruise, it's like 2 bruise. So I still enjoy it, but it's not like the story's starting to drag on me. So check out Good Girls. I'm watching it on Netflix. Pretty good show. All right, but I want to get into a show I watched not too long ago. Matter of fact, yesterday. Now I got sleepy on it, but I enjoyed it, and then I woke up and I watched it up to a point. Man, Godzilla and King Kong and Godzilla, man. Hey, man, that's a great flick. And I'm not even done with it. Here's what it's fresh for me, right? I'm not even done with it, but I enjoy it. I give that one 0 bruise as well. Matter of fact, just don't start it too late, because if Moose is watching a movie and it's late and I had a sip or two, I cannot stay awake. And the minute they start having talking and dialogue, I'm asleep, right? I need action. I need Action Jackson. So anyway, Godzilla and King Kong Godzilla. Great movie. I'm going to give it 1 brew only because, there's a lot of kind of dialogue in there. But, man, once they start fighting, it's on and popping. All right. So, JC, real quick. Brews and reviews. You understand, right? Something you saw. You give us a review on it. And you tell us if you really liked it, it's 0 brews or maybe 1 beer. If you couldn't stand it, it's 10 beers or 100 beers. What is something, JC, that you've seen here recently that you can give a brew and review on?
I'd probably be I would say the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's and I'll explain. I'd say I'd give it 1 brew. They're trying to the goal of that show is following Captain America, a.k.a. Steve Rogers' friend Bucky, Sergeant Barnes, and Sam, who is Falcon, who was given the shield by Captain America at the end of the Endgame movie. However, he himself, Sam, aka Falcon, doesn't believe that he deserves it, at least right now. So they're covering, it's a split story. They're covering that angle, and they're covering Bucky, who's getting therapy because he was an assassin who's apparently reformed. And and these two are also working together. They only get along half the time, but they're starting to move into some of the social justice issues that are in our country right now, and they're tying it into the storyline. I think it's great. I think it's I don't, and if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it. It's 6 episodes, so like next week is the last episode. It's the finale. But this it's every Friday on Disney Plus, and it's about 50 minutes long. This Friday's episode was really, I'm not going to spoil it unless you want me to, but
No.
I would encourage you, out of all of them so this far, episode 5 is it blew me away.
Okay. All right. Hey, I appreciate that. And guys, check it out. So hey, any of you, maybe Jeezy, maybe JC too. Hey, guys, real quick, just to give you some insight on JC, like he knows like the real names of the people in Star Wars. Like we say Baby Yoda, but he knows his name is like, throw up, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like he's one of them type of dudes. Hey, so anyway, yeah, Ron, what's up?
Oh, I would just like to throw a little bit of Winter Soldier into this. I would like to talk about the biggest glow down ever in cinematic history, from Steve Rogers to John Walker, because John Walker is the Captain America that you order off of Wish. Like, I ordered Steve Rogers and I got John Walker, and I am not half a star, would not recommend. I would like to return this item, please.
You say off of Wish?
Yes.
That's funny.
He is.
But you know what, though? One thing I'll say about it, Marvel know what they're doing, because John Walker was cast for you to hate him. So you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole point, which was great about this show, kind of piggyback on what JC was saying, is that the Falcon turned down the role of Captain, the idea of being Captain America. He turned it down because he felt like that was Steve's position, whatever. So what you're watching in this show is only his journey to realizing that he is indeed able to be Captain America, and the journey that he's taking, and him and you, the audience, is basically like falling in love with the idea of him being Captain America. It's like the way they tied it in. It's like you on this journey with him to make him believe that he's Captain America. You taking that ride with as he as he turned it up, and he realized like, maybe I shouldn't, because John Walker got it. It was like, you know what? Maybe the best hands of the shield is my own. Mm-hmm. And you watch him go through those steps.
I was talking more about looks, but also I might hate John Walker more than I hate Homelander, which is a lot. I love Homelander. Not like Homelander at all, but I dislike John Walker even more because
I love Homelander. Never. He's like Thanos. Homelander's like my favorite. I know you love
Homelander because you wanted to grow up to be him, but Steve Rogers would never. He would never.
Man, Homelander will mop the floor with Steve Rogers.
At McDonald's on Free Friday.
Like, for real. Cap has no chance against Homelander. At all.
Well, Homelander can take on John Walker because nobody likes him. Look-wise or personality.
So, I got a question real quick, Jeezy. Are you saying that Homelander is like the same as Superman?
He's Superman.
So the same.
Same.
Oh my gosh! Because I did watch that special cut of what's the name of it, Jeezy?
Justice League.
We did watch the special cut of the Justice League, and holy cow! Like when Superman was fighting cats, I was like, man, this dude is better than everybody. Like I was blown away by it. And he just looked so smug, like, Like for real, are we gonna do this? And then,
So when the Flash was running, you see him look like, I'm fast too now. I can see you running.
right. He's like everything, and then his eyes just burn you in half, dog. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it like this. Bam.
It's Homelander's power.
Yeah.
Oh, your microwave cooks hot too?
I know. It's
So
crazy.
it brings me to my brewing review.
Yes, sir.
JP and Monsky stole my thunder with the Steph Curry and the Falcons. So I'm gonna take you one step further. Amazon Prime, there's a cartoon called Invincible. It is amazing. It's like The Boys was like a cartoon. And it is.
I can support you on that one. I'll forgive Homelander.
It is. So their Homelander version, his name is Omni-Man. And they have the Flash version, they have the Batman version. And I don't want to spoil it, but Omni-Man ain't no joke. At all. He's not to be messed with. At all.
Tell me what he's on.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Invincible.
Okay.
It's a cartoon.
How many
I
brews?
don't really watch cartoons like that, but the Hell Connection turned me on. Like, yo, you got to watch it.
How many brews you give it, buddy?
Oh, 0. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Okay. All right.
It had you close by like, man, what did I just watch, man? Like, what is this madness? I'm talking about like head buzzing. With cartoons, you could draw something way different. So it's like, it's graphic for a cartoon.
I'm going to check it out. All right.
I have one.
Question.
Go ahead.
It doesn't have anything to do with this. Is that like a Econo-sized bottle of lotion to the left side of you, Jeezy? What are you doing in the studio?
Oh, no. First of all, I got a broken leg, so my legs is ashy. So I need lotion to keep my feet moisturized in my heels.
That's all that matters. I just want to be sure you're well moisturized.
No. It's a big bottle of Jergens. See, on my view, I can't see it because I'm in a little box.
I can't see it either. I don't know. All I can see is the very top of it. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, all this is the top two. Yeah, Jesus.
I'm just trying to get you sponsors. That's all.
Yeah, Jergens hit me up, or Swab, or whoever.
could you imagine?
Brews or reviews or ashy news.
Hey, could you imagine? Hey, real quick. I tell you, we're gonna take a moose turn. We're gonna take a moose turn and give up some free advertising. You guys ready? I tell you what. Somebody, and it's a random game show at the same time. Somebody throw me a product. And I will do a 10-second commercial on it, and then I will bounce a different product to someone else. I tell you what, who's playing?
Ready?
Choice to play today?
All right,
Birds beans.
I'm ready.
Beeswax
Yeah,
lemon.
Birdie.
You want me to do that one?
Go for it.
Oh, yes.
How you doing, folks? This is Moosegay Big House. I'm here for Burt's Beeswax. I tell you what, when you want these lips to be as smooth as you can, when you hear this voice coming out, you need Burt's Beeswax, folks, because you know what they used to call me? LL Moose Lips. Luscious lips, moose lips. Yeah, that's what they call me because I use Burt's Beeswax. That's how you do it. It makes your lips good. Yeah.
The bee's knees.
All right, that's my commercial. All right, I tell you what. Hey, Ron, I want you to do pretzel crisp, gluten-free deli snacks. Go.
Do you love a good pretzel, but are you gluten-free? Does it make your tum-tum and your joints hurt? We've got what you need. Pretzel crisps. Great for scooping and for stacking. You can add cheese. You can dip it in Nutella. Because of the wider girth on the pretzels, you can dip more Nutella onto your pretzel and into your mouth.
Did you say girth into your mouth?
Yes, I did.
And look at her hand.
Your mouth.
And what are you holding right now?
This is an invisible bag of pretzel crisps. I'm in the commercial.
Don't you worry about it. Just go buy the product.
I don't have pretzel crisps. Pretzel crisps.
Good job. Next.
Dildo.
Next.
What are you holding?
Okay, so GZ, I want you to be in a commercial for the tennis balls that you put on the bottom of a walker.
Why? Because I actually have one of those?
You have some? Yep. Yes, I do.
Do you struggle to get up in the morning, move around? Do you find yourself sliding all over your floor, getting scratches everywhere? Well, here, get these new balls. These balls are designed to go on the bottom of your walker to make sure that you can glide around that floor with no problem. No scratches, no scrapes. And if you act now, we'll get you this new knee scooter. For just a small price of $69.99. For the first 15 callers, we give away a free night set.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
Right.
On bitch, slide right.
Well, he got jokes. My actual walker is like sitting like right here.
Stop it! I didn't know that part. Makes it even better. Okay, but it was the knee scooter for me on that one.
All right. So, hey, so look, Jeezy. There it is.
Are the tennis balls on it?
Oh, hold on, see if I can get it.
Yes.
Trader.
All right.
Listen, that was my idea to give you that gift. I'm so glad I had it.
All right, Jeezy. Send it to JC. JC, you ready to do a commercial?
All right.
Sure.
JC, I want you to do a commercial on suppositories.
Okay, so if I'm suppositories.
Hey, JC, can we do it together?
On that one. I know what it is. I just don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Can we do it together? Can you and I do it together, JC?
Yeah, I mean, no. Honestly, are they adult diapers or what? I mean, what is it exactly?
They kind of prevent or create the need for adult diapers.
All right, JC, look, you and I can do it together.
I got
it. Hey, JC, what's up? This Moose, man.
Hey, Moose, how you doing?
Hey, man, I tell you what, I have been having some horrible squirting issues, and then I was crusting up kind of in my bunghole, man. You got anything I might be able to that you could help me with that?
Yeah, I have these new to the market called Stone Cold Suppository.
Okay.
And I tell you right now, they might stay stone cold, but they can leave you feeling warm and relaxed later on.
So are you telling me they go in chilly and then they warm up after they do the work they're supposed to do?
That's right, Moose.
You know what? Hey, this is Moose at a Big House. And if you got a friend like JC, use Stone Cold suppositories when your bunghole is giving you trouble.
Hell yeah!
I like the thumbs up you gave at the end. That was my favorite.
Someone who works in marketing, I feel you all have a very strong career, but need a very good agent.
Stone Cold Steve, Stone Cold suppositories. Hey, so
Suppositories.
I can't even get it out. All right, JC. Now I want you to pass it on to Fancy Nancy. You give her a product.
Okay, Fancy Nancy. How about we hear something in the line of oh man, I got a brain freeze.
I think
it was those Stone Cold suppositories.
Yeah.
You know what I think? Ballerina shoes, man.
You want me to sell you ballerina shoes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ballerina shoes. That's a good one. That'll work.
Well, I'm glad you all dialed in tonight. You know, in our world being so shaping and conducive to thinking that doesn't really support the people around us, I just wanted to come to you tonight from the heart and talk to you about ballerina shoes. You could be thinking, bitch, I don't do ballet. But I have to tell you, why you still need ballet shoes? Because in those tender moments, in those times when you got to be on your toes, in those fast-acting, high-flying segments of life where it's just what it is. What else do you want to do? Camel toes? No. So, dial out, grab a pair of ballet shoes, and feel the moment. Get on point.
Hey, how you doing? This is Moose A Big House, and I tell you what, before when I was messing with my moose knuckles, then I got some ballerina shoes, and I tell you what, I felt way better on my toes than when I had those moose knuckles.
See?
I felt great. Jeezy, how did you feel when you got your new ballerina shoes?
Man, my camel toe was killing me until I got my ballerina shoes. So now, I get to walk around, get up and down, get to reach things up real high. I feel great. And Run EMC. When you got what was it like before you got your ballerina slippers?
Man, before I got my brand new ballerina shoes, I just never was on point. I missed every single beat. And here I am. My new ballerina shoes. On point and hitting the beats.
And guys, I'm gonna tell you, man, there's a guy that's a distinguished gentleman, Monsky Love. You know, they use the ballerina slippers to pull his teeth, from what I understand. And so when he got those toes in his mouth, he was doing well. He liked it. So if you want to put your toes in your mouth, you call Monsky Love and you get those ballerina slippers, because that's what we do here at the Heavy Hitters Radio Show Commercial Index. We put toes in your mouth with the ballerina slippers. Thank you.
You want to sell products? You show up with the heavy hitters.
Yes.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Good job, everyone. Hey, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, guys. You guys are listening, man. We're live on, we're simulcasting, man. We're on Spreaker.com. Jeezy, where else are we?
Man, you get us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We ain't getting that Joe Rogan money yet, but we out here trying to get it, man. So what you need to do is, man, subscribe, man, tell 2 people about the show, man.
We on everywhere. Hey, remember, guys, we are everywhere you are.
I think you told me to change that up, but okay.
I know I did. We are where you are. That's what I meant. We are where you are.
So get comfortable.
And come on in.
Yeah, we're not going to do the rest right now because I just did in the middle. Because I just want to let everybody know that's where we are. Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man, on all your podcasting sites. Even the fancy ones, like when Jeezy says Spotify and iHeartRadio, we are there. Apple Music, Stitcher Radio, man, you can catch us on all that good stuff. All right, guys. Does anybody else have any brews and reviews that anyone want to do?
Can I tell you mine? Go ahead, Run.
So we're going to do Run, and then we'll do Fancy.
I would like to brew and review this weather in Indianapolis. 17 bottles of wine and lots of shots of moonshine. April, what is happening? There is accumulating snow on the ground on April 20th, and I don't like it. 0 stars would not recommend. Go home, April, you're drunk. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's also maybe why I'm mad, but we can get to that later. I shouldn't have to get my snow boots back out in April. I don't like this.
I think it's fair.
It's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow.
It's going to be 80 degrees in 7 days. For real, for real.
People are going to be getting sick.
This
Fancy.
is why I have to call in sick to.
Fancy, what's your brew review?
All right, you're probably going to be sorry you asked, but Raoul Peck's Exterminate All the Brutes, 4-part series on HBO. It was pre-launched from Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz, Indigenous Peoples History of the United States, and Michael Roth Trout's Silencing of the Past. If your history teacher told you the truth, you need to watch All the Brutes. You need to watch all 4 parts. And you're probably going to need a lot of beers. Not because it's bad, because it's going to fuck up everything that you think you know about social order and culture.
Pineapple.
And everything you really need to know and rebuild your foundation on. So, if I had to pick another one, anything from Cheech and Chong, because it's 420 and after today we need it. But my biggest one today is the Chauvin trial and the verdict. No ruse for that. Just social justice.
Amen. Amen. What was that first one you said? 4-part series?
Exterminate All the Brutes. It's on HBO Max, streaming today. It's from Raoul Peck. It's phenomenal. It's painful. It's phenomenal. It's truthful.
Hey, so, hey, thank you, Fancy. I got a text from, I can tell you, from the Big Sis. And I'm supposed to watch some show on Netflix called Distant. Let me see. I'll tell you. It's called. Let me get it quickly. 2 Distant Strangers, guys. So on Netflix, 2 Distant Strangers. And by the way, it's 420. Check what Moose has. I got an industrial box.
Or Clear Eyes.
A Clear Eyes. Hey, if y'all out there chilling, holla at me. I got you covered, man. I get them eyes. I get them eyes straight. For 420, we got the Heavy Hitters Clear Eyes edition. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what my issue was pollen. You're right.
Everybody today had allergies. We got you.
That's why we celebrate this day in April. In case pollen lands heavy on your car or your socially justified heart or your moral compass, Clear Eyes.
Hey, man, we got it. We got it for you. Clear Eyes in the building. Clear Eyes in the building. Hey, so, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man, you guys are listening. All right, so, man, there's all kind of stuff going on right now. I'm going to step away for a hot second, right? But Jeezy's going to take over this platform after he goes. And this is his platform that he started. Hey, tell me why you mad, son.
Ron, you said you was mad.
I thought you were going to say something because you were taking over it. I'm mad because April weather is not supposed to include snow. And because even though we live in the Midwest where it snows every pineapple year, people somehow magically forget how to drive when it snows outside. And guess what, guys? It's not even slick because the ground's been so warm. It's just wet. Everybody just drive normal. Turn on your windshield wipers. It'll be A-okay. We're all going to get where we're going.
That's what she said.
True. I just can't with people. It snows every year. So that's why I'm mad. Because idiot drivers. Also, turn signals are really cool. Like, it was this really awesome invention that allows the people behind you to know where you're going. And if you're maybe going to slam on your brakes to take a sharp turn because you're not paying attention, you should turn signal. Yeah. Also, while we're at it, we've gone over this before, but the right lane is for the slowpoke arenas. You're exiting off the interstate, you're in the right lane. The middle lane is for those of you who would like to go the speed limit, and the left lane is for those of us who would like to drive faster than the speed limit. So if you're going to go the speed limit, I'm not in the far left lane. Your fast lane is the middle lane.
Right.
That's really a hard point for Indiana. I drove through 7 states going on spring break. And Indiana is the only state where citizens arrest you in the far left lane and impede you in the right lane. So yes, please move over. Let people going faster go by.
Yes. Because here's the thing. I'll run interference for you on the speedometer. Listen, because I'm going. All right? And if I got it, if I have to take a ticket, I'll take one for the team, but get out of my way.
Yes, yeah, just move over. Let me meet my fate.
Right. I will take care of that. Get out of the way.
Yes.
I'm going to take a different approach to tell me when you're mad, son. Because I'm actually mad at myself. So I love barbecue. I love ribs. I love barbecue chicken. I've recently gotten into eating pulled pork.
Tofu?
Pulled pork. But
Tofu?
why was I never told about burnt ends? Holy smokes!
So good. Literal holy smokes there.
Some of the best eating I've ever experienced in my life. And where have it been all 43 years of my life? I never knew burnt ends were so great. So I'm mad at myself. Because I missed out on at least a good 30-some years of good eating on burnt ends. And burnt ends is oh my God. Burnt ends is mostly, burnt ends is the bottom half of the brisket. You normally throw it away, but then they found out they got gristle and all kind of stuff in there. You can cook it. And it's the fatty. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing. Do you ever get a chance?
Can we just say don't throw anything away off the smoker or the grill? If you're throwing things away, call us and let's talk through it.
Say what?
So can we just say don't throw anything away off the smoker or the grill?
Yeah.
If you're throwing it away, call us. Call the heavy hitters next week and let's talk through it. Let LGZ evaluate what you're doing right now.
Yeah, the burnt ends are just, oh my God. So most, you never had burnt ends, have you? Yes, it's not an up north thing. I've never heard of it. And this one was you ever had burnt ends? No, oh man, it's amazing. I was I've never heard of it. They told how good it was, so I went and got some. And it is barbecue heaven on MLK.
So did you order it as a menu item, or you just were exposed to it?
I ordered it. I went to barbecue heaven on MLK, Martin Luther King Boulevard, 25th, I think 25th of MLK. And it's called ends. You say I want a large end, small end.
But I've been there.
And it is. Oh, I get it with the sweet sauce. Oh, yeah, goodies.
Burnt ends are amazing.
Go get it.
You can get. I believe they make burnt end sandwiches also. I don't know about barbecue heaven specifically, but I think in general it's a common way to eat burnt ends. Here's the thing. Brisket in general is maybe one of my favorites, but burnt ends, that's where all the flavor is, because all that fat down, and it cools, and then you get the smoke ring. It's delightful. I'm also, Monsky, great question, because actually so Monsky asked, how does Run know this? And I don't. So I was trying to decide when I first learned about burnt ends and when I had them. And I feel like it was after I was introduced to the heavy hitters. I definitely had burnt ends in Texas. Remember that whole episode we did where I talked about how I went to Hard 8 and had all the meats?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I feel like maybe I had burnt ends as part of all the meats.
I'm sorry. Did she say she went to Hard 8 and had all the meats?
I did. Oh my gosh. I had spicy sausage. I had sweet sausage.
What exactly are we talking about right now?
Burnt ends.
Hey, did
I had it for the first time.
Hey, real quick, did I talk about burnt ends? Have I talked about that?
I don't remember.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be right back.
I'm
gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back because I have a new burnt ends recipe that's kind of a burnt ends cheat.
Man, it is amazing, dude. I didn't know it was that good.
Yeah, no, hey man, it changed your life. But I got a new recipe for burnt ends. I'll be right back.
I really like Chris's camera angle there. That was fun and artistic.
So Sugar Fire has them downtown. I don't know about anybody else.
You didn't get them from barbecue heaven on. They had them. That's where I got mine from.
So Barbecue Heaven wasn't far from where I went to college and where I drive for my job. I drive all over.
Hell no.
the nearing states.
Barbecue Heaven is slacking. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a neighborhood staple.
I said Sugar Fire
slacking.
Downtown.
I don't know about no Sugar Fire, but Moose can make some burnt ends that'll blow your mind. But
All right, we'll be over in 30 minutes.
Moose is
You're going to take about 8 hours.
I was going to say, if you want some real good burnt ends, you better see me on Thursday. What's the?
Until you got it ready.
Everyone, I need to sign off. My phone's getting ready to die. I really appreciate you having me on, Moose.
Thanks for joining us, JC.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you all. Hope to see you all again.
Appreciate you, Jason Statham.
Whoa.
Or John, what'd you call him? Big John Stud? No, it wasn't it.
Stone Cold.
Oh, yeah, that's
Steve
it.
Austin.
Nice to meet you.
I'll be right back. Thanks for coming, man. I'll holler at you tomorrow.
Okay. Good night.
I am still blown away that you've never even heard of burnt ends.
I've never heard of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I am too.
I've never heard of them, man. I mean, up north, we
This is
don't
my
hear
friend
them.
Lorraine.
I mean, most never. We from the region, man. That's something that we just never heard
Don't
of.
Mosky when he can't speak.
Did you have brisket in the region where you grew up? Were you familiar with brisket?
Yeah, but be honest, maybe I can speak for Mosky, maybe, but all they been on the grill was ribs.
Okay. Well, I was
That's how far we got with barbecue. Am I wrong to say that, Mosky?
Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think burnt ends were just brisket. That's the common dish right now. But I didn't think burnt ends were just brisket.
I was gonna say I don't feel like brisket's that popular for everyone because it is hard to cook and it takes a long time, right? Like grilling ribs mostly, and so that's why I was asking.
Seems to be a pricey.
And to be honest, man, rib tips ain't. It's like I hear, like rib tips up north really wasn't that big.
Well, that's what I mean by burnt ends. Sorry for talking over you, but like the ends term. So I eat a lot of like African derived food, and I love anything that comes off a smoker. And then I love a lot of foods that have just come from the globe. And so when you say burnt ends, I was thinking, oh, that encompasses probably like 7 dishes. But you're saying you were just thinking about it as brisket. Like I think
burnt ends. But from my understanding,
burnt
ends is just the bottom half of the brisket, the top or bottom half, the fatty part of the brisket.
I thought it was just brisket too.
Yeah,
I think you just probably verify that.
Yeah, because I think from what I saw him trim it. Moose, welcome back to the conversation that you need to be here for the most because you're the resident griller.
Okay.
Burnt ends is just brisket, right?
Okay, so
it's the bottom half of the brisket.
So the original burnt ends is the part they call the tri-tip of the brisket. Yes, that's what that is. And so it's the fatty part of it. So you slice the other part, and then when the grain changes on the brisket, because the brisket grain will go this way, and some will go this way, right? So you slice all that, and when you get to the other part, you cut that off, and then you cube it, and you cook it a little more, and it's like meat candy, right?
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's like meat candy.
Yeah, that's a good description.
So I know how to make burnt ends. I know how to make a brisket, right? But I didn't make this up. I saw this hack, and I can't wait to try it. You take a chuck roast and you grill the chuck roast regular, right? Then you cube the chuck roast, and then you treat it like a burnt end. Like you put it in the sauce and the butter, and you cover it, and you cook it some more.
And you burn it?
No, it's not burnt. It's not burnt at all. But I can't wait to try it. The reason they call it the burnt ends is because when you cook a brisket, you put the tri-tip towards the heat, and so that's why they call it the burnt ends, because it gets most of the fire. The reason it can take most of the fire is because it has all the fat in it, so it doesn't get burned up. Like the fat just makes it taste better and better and better and better. So yeah.
This is delicious, man.
So I tell you right now, man.
I might be an expert, but can I give you some rural facts? I was part of the livestock judging team and the meat judging team and the butchering team.
I bet you were part of the meat judging team anyway. Go ahead.
Anyone else? It just means that like you're stroking my rural roots, and I really get excited about meat cuts and how.
Oh my God! It's a lot of 8 hards and stroking of rules.
Run went to hard 8, and she had all the meat platters and all that, and now she's a stroking judge of the meat platter or something.
They
Whatever.
had a lot of meats at hard 8. Okay.
Yes. White girls learned a lot of stuff in school. We can also judge your soils.
And then you got that fancy haircut. Next thing you know, you're only dating brothers. Anyway.
But you don't realize she on a walking suit too. She on a full suit and everything.
Listen, I have been in the field today doing the business.
It's one of those movies where it's like, oh, so you here to talk advertising? Yeah. Well,
No, we're here to talk millions of dollars. Thank you.
All right. So anyway, tell us about this the meat selection you're talking about.
The stroking of the rules.
Oh, the meat judging thing? I'm just saying that, like...
You talking about beef
stroking? What?
Huh?
You said meat judging. I'm saying, do they stand like on a podium or something? I'm confused.
No, they put it could be a picture of a cow, or it could be, like, do you know when, well, it's usually in the movies when they're going in the mafia to murder people, and all the half cattle and everything.
Yeah.
We go in there and we judge it and we rate it and we look at marbling and we look at the cuts and we find pieces, and like that's a real thing. So it could be a picture, but it's normally like a live cut of meat, and then you rate it, and then people rate you on how you rated it. So I can the loin, I can find the brisket, I can tell you how to cut the first, second, and primal steaks and all of that. It hasn't helped me get married or find a boyfriend. I'm just saying, like, I know how I want my meat cut.
You know what it is? I looked on your social media. Like, you were really into the Country Music Awards. Like, you were into it, like big time.
I was. Well, so it went gospel. And not many things go gospel on prime time. So that excited me because I'm not super religious, but I love when people defy norms.
You know what? Hey, Fancy, you are religious. You are religious. You comb your hair and brush your teeth about every day, right?
That is fastidious.
No, it's religious. You religiously brush your teeth and comb your hair and, like, you know, get your body together and get your face together and all that.
I actually don't hate Jesus. So here we go. Yeah.
So religiously you do that. So.
That they don't normally do on prime time. And they brought back some old school things from my youth. So I thought that was cool. And yes, I posted a lot. And y'all know this on the show, but maybe listeners don't. I tend to post more when I drink more. And I drink a lot on Sunday. And so I posted pictures of my dog and the music awards.
That's funny.
Yep. So what do you do on a successful Sunday as a single woman? You cook things, you post pictures of your dog, and you post pictures of what you're watching.
It could be pictures of, at least not a picture of cats.
No,
they'd be the crazy
cats. Can't do it.
They'd be like the crazy cat lady.
We're probably like more aligned on our animal instincts because cats are assholes, but like I just can't do it.
Hey man, you guys listen to Heavy Hits Radio Show. We just learned a lot about cats and other things. So check us out. Hey, check us out, man, on Tuesdays and anywhere you listen to your podcast. If you're just now checking, if you're just now joining in, like Jeezy always says, man, tell not one but 2 friends about us, man.
Tell 2 people about the show, man.
Just all you gotta do is tell 2 people about the show, and we up in here, man. We are regular people talking about regular stuff, man. So guys, you know what? We talked. I know we talked about George Floyd and all that, and the fact that tonight's going to be pretty quiet around the country. But like it's not over necessarily, right? And I don't necessarily want to get into the heavy stuff, But is there ever going to be a time where we can tell jokes again and nobody's offended? Like like you tell any
I
kind
do
of.
it all the time. I don't really care. I really don't care if people get offended, man. Like, what happened to if you don't like what somebody's saying, man? Turn it down. Just turn the station. Like, you ain't gotta watch it. Like, I don't understand. And you know what's funny? When people get offended, 9 times out of 10, they didn't even watch it to begin with. They just read when somebody posted about it, and then they all gonna be mad about it too. But you didn't even watch it, so you don't even know what the context of the joke was. Like, I'll go back to that Bill Burr special where he was like, "No don't mean no," and he was like, "No, stop, no, stop. Oh, are you being so bad?" He said, "But yeah, when you write that down," she said, "No, stop, no, you're being bad." That's not how it was saying when it was happening. But when you read something in black and white print, you're left to put your own language, spin, and interpretation on what was said. So a lot of people get offended, and the reality is they didn't even watch to begin with, or saw the punchline of the joke and not the setup of the joke. Which most you did some comedic work. The setup is just as important as the punchline because it builds context to what the punchline is. Right. But if you only just throw out the punchline,
I think you said the key word context.
Yeah, it's context. But now everything's in black and white. You just write something down and people get mad about it, and everybody just jump on board. Well, he said this, like, yeah, but that's not what he said. I mean, he said that, but that's not how it was presented or how it was said.
So is comedy going to change because now you have to be so safe?
I think the big comedians, like the Chappelles or the Chris Rocks or the Bill Burrs or the Joe Rogan, like, they can still get away with being, because they fan base is so big, they can get away with. But I think a lot of up and coming comedy acts might have a different. Comedy in 20 years might look different because one of the guys.
If it does, sorry to step on you, and I did. If it does, then y'all better be concerned about your free speech and your first 5 Amendment rights, because comedy is context and it's perspective. And if that gets edited, much like other things, I think we should be concerned. Very.
The thing that I warn everybody about is the pushback is coming. So right now the pendulum is swung so far to the left, it's swung so far, it's due to come back the other way. And when it comes back the other way, it's going to be a lot of 0 F's given. And then a lot of things, because you can only push a certain group of people so far before they say, all right, that's enough. And then they start pushing back. And then when they push back, they can push back way harder than you can push. And that's what's happening, man. The pendulum is now swinging so far in this opposite direction that when it's going to come back the other way. And when it does, it's going to be a lot of hurt feelings, and they ain't going to even care. That's what's happening. Everybody's been on that couch like, man, this is stupid. And it just keeps getting more and more outrageous. The further they push, it's like, it's like, what can we do? And it's like, you know what? Enough's enough. And then what happens is when something really happens, ain't nobody gonna pay attention because the boy who cried wolf. Like, no one's gonna listen no more because, like, nah, we didn't have that phase already. We done with that. So that's what I'm worried about, the pushback. That's when pineapple shit gonna get real.
What'd you say, Fancy?
I said I think we should just question the structure. The pivotal rule that holds physics and science to the fulcrum is that we presume when it swings left or right, it will have equal force on the central structure. And I think if anything we saw today, what most of us have hoped for, and maybe some of us feared, the fulcrum of America shifted a little. Like, it's 90 years, it's way too late, but sometimes when things swing hard one way and we think they're coming back equally as hard, I don't know. Today, maybe just ask some questions about about the structure, and I don't think some truths hold self-evident like they did before. I think people are finding a different space.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, like, right now, for lack of a better term, white males are under attack as far as like their character, whether they're racist or not, you know, and they kind of like this. A lot of them are just taking it right now. They're just kind of eating it and taking it. You know what I mean? Even the ones that's not racist but being called racist and all this kind of stuff, like they taking it. Or the cancel culture, everything they do is being canceled. The whole toxic masculinity, all of that stuff. You can only push a man so far, where it's like, all right, enough of this shit, and then it's gonna be some pushback. And a lot of the pushback is gonna be when all it takes is one celebrity, one company, or one guy to say something, and his sponsors and people who back him don't back down and stand up to it because it's preposterous. Some of the stuff that people are doing and saying, then it's gonna be more men jumping on board. Like, yep, I went, yep, and it's just gonna swing back the other way. Like right now, anything a woman say about a man is held true and high regard. Like it's the end of the world. Or if they cancel you for whatever thing, it's swinging, and men are getting crushed right now. Men crushed, not just white men, all men.
I don't think white men are under fire. And I would ask some questions. If you, as a white man, think you're under fire,
they're under fire.
Why do you feel so exposed? And the reason I say that is not being naive. I say it because men are men. There's lots of social norms, and there's lots of deviations, and there's lots of things. But at the end of the day,
fancy. It's the broad brush. It's the broad brush. Like Ron came on here 2 weeks ago and was like, all the old white men in Congress are racist. Like what? Like you can't say that. You can't say that. But it's that broad brush that's being
Those were my words, but it was close.
No, Ron, that was your exact word. It was like, old white Republican men are racist. That was your words.
The Republicans.
No. We're not gonna moonwalk today because I said it like 4 times that show. I remember vividly, not vaguely.
Vaguely sounds more appropriate.
I remember my comeback was, I said, Run, you can't say that. You can't say all. No, all of them old white men in Congress are racist. What about the old Democrats?
No, y'all didn't ask me, but I'll tell you, because I spent a lot of time today in thought with this. I watched the verdict. I actually was at a funeral earlier in the day. It's snowing on April double digits. But I spent a lot of time with this in thought today. Like, I was worried about this trial verdict. I knew there was no doubt this guy was guilty, but probable cause, reasonable doubt, et cetera, people are what they are. I was worried. And I said today after I heard the verdict, and I just sat in some silence, and I had to ask myself a lot of probable and plausible questions about my interpretation of things and people. And I say that to say this. I don't believe white men are under fire, but if you want the truth, I'm not sure how to adequately define the group of white men. I was worried that despite the egregious nature of a crime, people would see color or title or social structure over guilt. And then people showed up and they delivered. And I had to sit with that in a minute. And so all I'm going to say to you on these couple examples is that I'm happily doubting so many social norms and definitions I put in place. And I hope they're changing. But if I'm wrong, then I'll come back and I'll eat crow for you, Jeezy, about your white men theory. But I disagree.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that the Chauvin case, what I mean is white guys in general, not necessarily like the cop. I'm not saying police. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying white guys in general who have built certain things in this country, and now all of a sudden it's like they are under attack from essentially all angles. whether it's they're racist or they're privileged or all of these things that people are saying about them, whether it's true or not, but it's being said about, and people are lumping all men, all white men into this category when some of them is like, that ain't gonna do with me. And they really don't, but it's like they're being put in with just white men in general. And they're being thrown into this fire. And when George Floyd happened, Moose, we tell the story of how many white guys wrote to you was like, man, I apologize and all. I mean, that happened last year. People just random come up to you, and it's like, okay, I didn't know how to react. I was like, man, it's all good, whatever. But it's like, it just kept moving forward, and people are pushing, whether it's this whole toxic masculinity stuff or the way that they think or everything that they say, everything that they do is being critiqued by all the minorities, whether it's black minorities, whether it's women minorities.
Women.
These groups are pushing back, and at some point, they gonna say, "Hey, man, look, I ain't none of this," and then the pendulum is gonna swing back the other way, and they gonna push just as hard the other way, and it's gonna pretty much be F.
I hope I'm behind that pendulum. I hope I'm behind it, pushing for the change that's coming.
No, it's gonna be a change. What I'm saying is like change is good. But what I'm saying is like you can't demonize. Oh, the problem is we're not picking out the ones that's doing it. We're demonizing all, and you can't demonize all. Some people ain't got nothing to do with this. Some people that we walk, I say in my everyday life, ain't got nothing to do with this. But they're being pushed in this position where it's like, dude, I got to come out fighting at some point because I'm not going to take something I'm not responsible for.
Hey, you
know what? You know what?
You guys know what, man? So somebody I work with today, I don't even know how it came up, but they were talking about the fact that when they were young, they had learned that, like, their doctor said black people didn't feel pain.
There's medical studies on that. Well, right. That they don't feel pain as intensely.
Right. And
black people are horribly underprescribed pain meds
today on that.
And she said, well, that's not true, right? I go, well, you know it's not true. I mean, you know, on my tooth, I said now, my tooth hurt a long time before I got paid, but it was a financial decision on the fact of how much pain I could take before I was like, you know what, forget this, man. I'm gonna go ahead and pay for this thing. I said now, the fact that I think that I have had at some points, and very few points for me, but some points in my life gone without things, it was okay. Like, you know, like after a while, you learn to be a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger, a little bit more mentally astute to handle things because you have to. Because you don't trust that the doctor's going to do you right. You don't trust that the nurse is going to do you right. You don't trust that the people writing the information is going to do you right. So you just take the pain hoping it's going to go away at some point because that's safer than going to get it fixed. I said, but that's also a way that they demonized the black people so that then they could say, then they say, well, you know, they don't feel pain, so we can press on them a little bit harder because they don't even know about it. So I explained that was a conversation I had today, and then when you flash forward to the end of the day, and I was talking to somebody I really respect, and that they were saying, and I respect the other person too, by the way, but you know they were saying that, you know, they saw Trevor Noah, and I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but he talked about The Conversation.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but he asked me about it. He said there was somebody on there that was saying, you know, there was one guy that said he had the conversation at 8. And so he said, what does that mean? And I said, there's levels to that conversation. There's that conversation when you're in elementary school, when you're a black man. There's that conversation when you go to middle school. When you're a black man, there's a conversation when you go to high school. When you're a black man, and when you graduate, when you're a black man, it really doesn't even stop. But those are the conversations that you have to have with young black men at those stages in their life, because they're not ready at 8 for some of the stuff that's going to happen at 16. You have to make sure they get close enough to understand it before you tell them. I said, and the person said, I never talked to my sons about any of that. I had to tell my sons about a lot of pineapples, a lot of shit, but nothing about what they were talking about. And I said, I know. On the other hand, I have talked to all three of my sons about all those things at that level. I said, I got one more talk to have because I got one grade graduate, and then I don't have those conversations anymore. Now we're just catching up to how's it going? Here's how you maintain your safety. Here's how you get to be my age. Here's how you get to be a man of a certain age. I said, however, that's how it is. That's the reality of it. And so guys, we're close. We're coming to the end here, but I will say, and I want your guys' perspective on this one by one. So as we talked about that, I said that there's this, Monsky and I both work and run work in the field where we run into children that are raised by people that are not enlightened, not woke, not with this century, not having any understanding, mentors. I mean, I can go on and on about the things that the parents are missing. And it makes these children miss it. And it perpetuates what those folks that Jeezy talks about happen, right? So, but it's not like me. I'll share Moose. Moose's dad worked hard. He left the family, but he worked hard, right? And I still knew him and spent time with him and all that kind of stuff, but he wasn't with my mom. My mom was a leader of people, of organizations. She was a CEO style. My sister's a CEO. My grandfather worked at the same place for a lot of years and was a professional. My grandma, same thing. So if I look up in my family, I see people that strived and did well. So I have no other choice but to do well, right? That's what I seen. Like that's what I see. But if you don't have that, if you don't have people that are striving and doing well, then you don't have that in you. Or if you don't have somebody outside, like Jeezy and I play sports. Most of you play sports too. So whether it's a coach or somebody in your life that was a mentor, that kind of thing. If you don't have those things, then you're not going to make it, right? You're just not. You're going to struggle. And I run into hundreds at this point of children that struggle. So I'm going to ask you guys, and this is kind of what we've been talking about here. We're talking about Chauvin. We'll finish up the show tonight with this. We're talking about Chauvin and the fact that he knelt on this man's neck for damn near 10 minutes with no remorse, it looked like. And then I haven't seen, my sister told me today that when they read the announcement, he had no look on his face. He just was playing. He just sat there. And I haven't seen it yet, but he just sat there. And so you have men in this world that will kill a man with no remorse. You have children in this world that will. I mean, Monsky and I work in a field where a young boy argued with his dad, killed his dad, mom, sister, chased his brother, tried to kill him, killed everybody in the house. 6 people dead, one injured. Tried to kill 7 people because he had an argument because they kicked him out of his house. So I leave you guys at the end. This is going to end our show tonight. In very few words, and I apologize for that. And if we need to do a re-up someday, we can do that. Matter of fact, tomorrow I got time. How do we address that subject? It's a huge question. It's a huge question because Fancy says, well, I don't think white guys, are bad news. And Jesus says, man, all white guys are under fire right now. And I
didn't say they were bad news. I meant to say I don't feel sorry for them.
Okay, now I'm all caught up because at first I was like, I didn't even know what you were talking about. But okay, now I'm with you.
Clarify that. I wasn't like, let's defend these guys. I was saying, you got nothing to feel sorry for yourself on. I give you no victims advocate, no space. No.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
I think for me, like I think there should, like, we the first thing that we do is especially with women, the first thing everybody said, we didn't heard the phrase, men rule the world. We've heard that, right? Men rule the world, right? But, and I sent y'all a little bit, a little TikTok video. That's not true. The men, that's true to an extent. It's like such a small, we're talking like a 1% of men. Not all men, like a small portion of men control things. And the rest of us, the rest of everybody else does not control anything. And a lot of the laws, a lot of the systems are designed to take from you and not give to you. You know, for instance, if me and Moose talk about this all the time, if a woman decides to say, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this kid's life, she can take the kid out to the fire station, drop them off, walk away, no financial responsibility. Done. That's it. Give the baby away.
You want me to say it for you? Men can't. That's a criminal offense as a man.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, so I just
why
said
does that,
you're welcome, but you didn't ask me, so sorry.
If you're a millionaire or you make 100 plus thousand, 200 plus thousand, and 300,000, whatever, you get divorced, you ain't starving because you got to pay, take care of your wife and kids. But if you make 50,000 and you decide to walk away because you ain't happy no more, you damn near can't survive. You can't live.
I'll say this. I'm glad you're sitting down, but you shouldn't be. I don't disagree with you at all. Fathers' rights are discriminated and held back at a level that is unacceptable.
But see,
men get the post-World War II path of the champion, the breadwinner, the stakeholder, the solve everything. But men don't get emotions or compassion or equivalent representation in matters of families and homes.
Right. Because the laws are written for a time period that was designed where the man was leading everything. But now those days is gone, long gone. So it's like the rules are still set up for these times that was set 50, 60, 70 years ago. We still live under an umbrella, and it's like, no, it's crippling a lot of men, but no one's saying anything. It's like, oh, you a man, you can deal with it. Man up. You can take it. Mental health is for
here's what baffles me on a daily basis. Our court rules on mother and father, which is genetically aligned with male and female. And I'm not going to delve into non-binary things other than to say that people who are there deserve the respect because nobody would choose that path out of fun. But I digress to say, why are we in this modern era in a court determining the livelihoods of our children and our fiscal matters based on a dick and a pussy?
Yeah, exactly. And my question I would ask, if both men and women are working, which nowadays, just if I have a household, you have to have two people working pretty much.
And a person probably hired to ride a bicycle in the basement, plus sorry.
Right, exactly. So if the man makes more money than said woman makes, why can't the man take his kids? Because he's the more fiscal responsibility of said kids. So why would he be awarded custody of the kids? Because he's a man?
That was a very valid and overdue question. Again, it wasn't very PC, but we're back to dick and pussy. My income, my this, my that. We have a separation of church and state. We have declared over and over. Ruth Gator Ginsburg supported it 100 times. We don't discriminate on race or gender. So no man should sit in court for the subjectivity of loss based on his genitalia. Never ever.
All right, guys. So listen. I mean, that's holy cow. Like now, see, we almost need another show, like where we just like it's like girls versus boys. We all in the same gang type of show. But here's the point I'm trying to make here. I'm not sure if we solve any of these issues, right? Because we're gonna keep going back and forth, man. As D and P, and here's the thing. Again, again, we talked about the fact that there's this great continental divide. How do we start to fix that? How do we start to fix it? We know it's there.
How you fix it, Moose? It's me and you've been doing this for years. Have people in your circle who don't look like you. That's how you do it. You have people around you of different cultures, different backgrounds, and then you begin to see them people in a different light. Then you have conversations with them because they're your friends, and then you might open their mind and say, "You know what? Moose," they might be like, "Moose ain't that bad." So then the next black guy that comes into this school guy, they can reference back to you that was a good guy, and all of a sudden you have this empathy on all sides. But if you only hang out with people who look like you, think like you, feel like you, then you're not going anywhere. But in the same circle, the same boat, you're going to be in the same position because you're not going to expand. Exposure leads to expansion.
I love it. Isn't that back to us versus them? And there's actually no us versus them looking left or right?
I don't know. Ron, did you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I think going off of what Jeezy said, it's really important that the adults allow the kids to see the differences in your circle as well, and in like encouraging your kids to have a diverse group of friends, because adults can do it all day long, but that's fine. The kids are the next generation that are going to take over the country, so they need to have that experience. They need to see that. They need to see the value in having people that are different from them and respecting those opinions. But I think, too, adults really need to model how to have disagreements respectfully, because we are not good at that right now, and I am including myself in that. Oh, 100% call you a racist if you are being a racist. However, I don't do it in the most kind way. Shocking, I know. But if the kids can see us have disagreements and have conversations around that, instead of just arguing and saying, you're wrong and I'm right, that's just going to help everybody move forward in society. Because we can't forget about the kids that are going to be the next generation. I mean, think about it. The kids that are 10, 10 years, they're going to be in companies. In 15, they might be running some of those companies. It's not that far away.
Be your boss.
Yeah, right. Ron, let me ask you this. Instead of, my suggestion would be, if someone makes a racist comment, instead of calling them racist, find out why they say what they say. What makes them feel that way? Like, ask another question, like, well, what makes you feel that way? What makes you say that? To see, because a lot of times, what you'll find is that it's not racism. The racist, it's just pure ignorance. They don't know no better. They don't know no different. They haven't been exposed to anything else.
It's 2021. In a click of a mouse, you can be exposed to anything you want. So ignorance is a choice at this point.
But Ron, what you fail to realize is, yes, a click of a mouse, you can be exposed to something, but we all know that Facebook is an algorithm, so if you never see it, like your Facebook page and what you see is very different from what your friends are getting in their feed if they're not into the same thing as you are. So you're being pushed things towards you. It's easy to say, you should know that. But so many people don't know that. So before you jump to ask them why, and then give them reference points, educate themselves. Go ahead, Fancy.
I said, like, we know it, but they don't know it. And
education shouldn't come from Facebook. That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, no. Like, what I heard from you, Ron, is like, here's what I heard, and I think this all the time. The term in HR, corporate America, is positive conflict. And if there is all conflict, there's no productivity. And if there is no conflict, there's no productivity. But somewhere in the middle is where people argue productively, with air quotes, for change. And that's where we all should land. And I don't have like a Reading Rainbow Lamar Burton message. I'm just saying that, like, today of all days, I sat in space and thought, I hope that today Americans seem way too late, but ready to think about something different. That's blowing my mind.
Run. Final words.
Don't get your information from Facebook.
Don't.
No, Ron. What I was saying,
what the heck?
If you see something, You should be the one to educate them because you're there at that present time. So instead of lashing out and saying, "Oh, you're a racist," like, no, well, find out. Well, what makes you say that? Challenge them. Like, why do you say that? Well, because this is this. Well, that's not necessarily true. Have you ever thought about it like this? Have you seen it from their point of view? Educate them. Don't just lash out. So now you type some final words some kind of way, and now they're like, "Well, you just don't vote white girl, blah 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 blah." But you didn't give them no food to really eat on and think about. You just left it as, "Oh, you're a racist," and shut them off. You cut them off.
So I don't do that, but I will call racism out. Is what I said? I will always call it out.
You will call it out, but you have to educate.
Correct.
But all racism that you think is racism could be just ignorance. They don't know. People are not exposed. They're only exposed what they see on TV. They have no exposure. They don't.
It's too late to not know. You don't know right now.
No, it's not.
You don't want to know.
Hey, real quick, and I apologize for taking the last word, but I gave you guys plenty of time. But we gotta shut this thing down. So I will say that I agree in part with all three of you, and here's how it goes. So yes, we should call out when we see something that's going crazy. We should define what it is, and I believe that's what Jeezy is saying. And then Fancy, on your part, guess what happened? There's a lot of people that have never had to change, modify, or depend on anything else besides their opinion. And so they do not understand what racism is. They do not understand it because they don't know. And the only reason I know, for all four of you that are still here and the 35,000 people that are listening to us tonight, is that I've asked people, the way that I handle this situation, folks, is that there are people on the other side of the aisle. There are people on the other side of the page. There are people in a different book than I'm in. But for some reason, we are friends. And I can say, hey, man, what's up with this situation? How do you feel about X? What's going on with P and G and R? And guess what? They trust me enough to tell me. Now, not all of them. Some of them get all freaked out. They're like, I can't believe you're talking to me like this, and, Moose and all that. And I'm like, listen, man, I do not care how you vote. I don't care who's in your bed. I don't care how you make your eggs. I'm just asking you a question about this situation right now. So you see, and the reason I say that is because a lot of people get hung up on the fact that somebody might be gay, or somebody might be, somebody might be fat or skinny, or someone might have voted for Trump or whatever. None of that matters, right? In the end, as long as you believe what you want to believe, I believe I don't believe, we can stand right next to each other. We can smoke a stick like Jeezy. We can drink some brown. We can sit around a bonfire. None of that matters. None of that matters. Because when you go back in your house, you're going to do what you do. I'm going to do what I do in my house. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter to us. So all of you are saying, I think what is poignant is that if we just get along with each other, none of the other stuff even matters.
And it don't matter, boo.
And and you even if you hate me, guess what you do? Then you don't go in the same circle that I'm in. And if I know you hate me, I won't be in your circle either. But if I like that circle, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in it. And then if you don't like me being there, then you got to make that choice not to be there, or you got to make the choice to get along with me. That's it.
That's it, man.
Nothing else.
But the point is, over time, by you being in that circle and they being in that circle, you will see that a lot of the things that you like, I like them too. A lot of things that you do, I do too.
Obviously, if I'm in that circle, we have some like things that we enjoy together.
Right. Moose, you said it, I think it was a couple of years, we first started this show, you said, no, what? There's two things you see in a poor white neighborhood and a poor black neighborhood. It'll be a pit bull on the chain named King.
Named King in the back.
It's still live? Just tell me it's alive.
Named King in the back, and you're going to have an exhaust manifold in the front and a couch on the porch. Boom, we're doing it.
That's it. No matter where you go, you don't see that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, folks. It's Heavy Radio Show. Remember, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
Yeah, come on in.
Man, we appreciate y'all. Look, I'm gonna shut the show down first, and then the video. Hello, peace. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure, Monsky. Way to hang, man, with your mouth all jacked up. You look like you're in a little bit of pain, like you're in.
You got some Kanye diamonds?
He got some some gold, like he got some gold like Moose in the back. Look, you know where I got that?
I saw you in that noodle soup, yo. I was like, yeah, he done for right now.
You know where I got that? My roommate back at Central State, man, we was freshmen. We was going home in that first break. And we always gonna get goals right in our mouth, man. You know, it's 1989, man. We gonna get goals. You know, he's from Miami, Florida, man, Dade County. Man, we go home. I called him up. I'm like, hey, man, I'm getting my goals. You know, he's like, me too, man. So I went to the dentist, and I'm like, he's like, you got to get something pulled back here. I'm like, all right, he's working on my mouth. I'm like, put that gold back. Put that gold back there. My gold's all the way back here. Still got it. Man, he came back. Sean came back. This right here was gold. These two. He'd be like, what's up, big dog? Always like sucking on him, licking on him. I'm like, he's like, where you going at? I'm like, right there, all the way in the back. I was a chump, man. He still got them joints too, man. He's 50 years old now. So
his teeth gone, so you gotta keep them shits.
Hey man, you know that gold lasts, man. I still got it. It's still shiny. Diamond shining like you stole Liberace back there.
Right.
So yeah, man. Anyway, man, that's where we at. I don't know if I turned this off or not. I hope I did. Oh, I didn't. That's funny. I didn't. So we still taping the show. Oh, well. Here we go.